Are you ready to embark on an unforgettable adventure to the land of the Nile? This 10-day Egypt itinerary is going to blow your minds. We've all heard of this fabled land, one filled with pyramids, ancient tombs and temples. While it's all true, Egypt really does live up to its reputation. Those of you following along here will know that I recently spent a couple of brilliant weeks travelling around Egypt, and I don't say this lightly, it was one of my favourite trips ever. Enough about me though, this is all about helping you to discover incredible Egypt travel destinations and walking you through all the places that you shouldn't miss. Let's dive in. Cairo is a city of contrast and the obvious jumping off point for days 1 and 2 of your Egypt itinerary. On the one hand, you have a vibrant and cosmopolitan city with gleaming skyscrapers and designer shopping boutiques. On the other hand, you have ancient landmarks like the pyramids of Giza and the Sphinx. Okay. Technically, Giza is actually a separate city to Cairo, but getting to the Sphinx and the pyramids of Giza is just a matter of a hop, skip and a jump across the Nile, or a taxi ride if you really want to be boring about it. These ancient wonders are over 4,500 years old and offer a glimpse into the past. You can even climb inside the Great Pyramid of Giza for a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Having done some thorough research, I can fully attest to the fact that inside the Pyramid of Giza is actually the hottest place on earth. You cannot imagine how sweaty it is inside, but it's fantastic! There's more to Cairo than just the pyramids though. The Egyptian Museum that's located in central Cairo is home to one of the largest collections of ancient Egyptian artifacts in the world, including treasures from Tutankhamun's tomb. There's also the Al-Azhar Mosque, which is a must-see. This ancient mosque is considered to be one of the oldest and the most important in the world. You can also head to the Khan el-Khalili Bazaar, one of the largest and the oldest markets in the Middle East. You can find everything from spices and textiles to jewellery and traditional Egyptian souvenirs. We're going to come back to Cairo, but for now, we are going to head onto an overnight sleeping train. Time to say farewell to Cairo, and now we are off on our Egyptian adventure. It's been a hot second since I've got a sleeper train, I have to say. So we are now on the sleeper train going down to Aswan, 14-hour journey, and I'm really excited because from Aswan we are going to go and see the Temple of Philae, which looks incredible, and we're flying down to Abu Simbel to see the Great Temples of Abu Simbel. Oh my god! You can actually fly from Cairo to Aswan, but if you're okay with something slower and a little bit more rattly, if we're honest, you can take an overnight sleeper train. Next up, we're heading to Aswan for days 3 to 5 of our Egypt itinerary. Hello, Aswan. Aswan was probably the destination during my 10 days in Egypt that I actually knew the least about before I went, but spoiler alert, by the time I came to leave, it was a close contender for my favourite spot on the trip. Nestled in the south of the country, Aswan is different to Cairo for so many reasons. It's a lot smaller for starters, as well as having a significant Nubian population who bring their important culture and history to the city. I should also mention that it's a lot hotter, so if you thought that you were sweating it out in Cairo, just you wait. Philae Temple is straight up incredible. This ancient temple was dedicated to the goddess Isis and is known for its stunning columns and intricate carvings. It's one of the places you simply have to visit on your Egypt trip. There are many interesting things about this temple, but one of my favourite facts about it is that it actually used to be located in a slightly different place, and when they built the high dam in the 60s they hadn't realized that the water level of the Nile was going to rise to the extent that it did, and as such they had to, like Philae Temple and the original island with Philae Temple was completely submerged, so they had to move the temple and the island with the help of UNESCO. They had to move it to a slightly different island and rebuild it from scratch. Now I think that you can see behind me that they have done quite the spectacular job. You didn't think we were going to come as far as Aswan but not take a little trip to one of Egypt's most iconic landmarks, did you? I am talking about Abu Simbel. Just a short flight from Aswan, you'll find that the Abu Simbel temples, which were built by Pharaoh Ramesses II, one for him and one for his much beloved wife Nefertari. They're really a marvel of ancient engineering and best known for their massive statues and intricate carvings. Venture inside to see the stunningly well-preserved interiors. Sure, there are tons of places to visit in Egypt, but spending a night or two on the Nile is a must for your Egypt itinerary. 1,000+ kilometre long Nile is the heart of the country, and how better to explore it than on board a Nile cruise? No cruise applies the whole of the Egyptian Nile, but the section from Aswan to Luxor is the most popular stretch. You can do it in a number of different ways. I went with a felucca, which is like a traditional Egyptian boat, and they're a great way to travel because they're really quiet and very slow. Next on our Egypt itinerary, we're heading to Luxor for days 7 to 9. City, located on the banks of the Nile River, was once the heart of pharaonic civilization. Now, Luxor is home to many of Egypt's big sightseeing hitters. The Valley of the Kings, check. Karnak, check. The mortuary temple of Hatshepsut, check, check, check. The seat of ancient Egyptian power from the 16th to the 11th century BC, when it was called Thebes. Luxor is so important in the history of Egypt, and it's got the relics to prove it. What up, guys? Today I am in Karnak. Now, just arrived in Luxor today. It is spectacular, as I think we'd all assume it would be. We've got some adventures for tomorrow. Hint, the Valley of the Kings. But today we are walking around Karnak. Now, this is the biggest temple complex in the world and is massive. The scale of it is just huge, and actually they're renovating like a large proportion of it, so the bit that we can see today isn't even the full thing. It was dedicated to the god of Amun-Ra, which is the one with the crazy pokey face, and it was built over a 2,000 year period. That's from 1800 BC to 200 AD. Can you imagine? Obviously not in one lifetime, but can you imagine just the scale of the project to be building over so many years? And the end result is just completely incredible. I can't even imagine what it would be like when all of this was like in its full glory. Karnak, it's kind of tough to get your head around the scale of Karnak. It's the second most visited destination in Egypt after the pyramids of Giza, after all. To put it bluntly, if you're going to skip anything on your Egypt travel itinerary, Karnak is not the thing. The Valley of the Kings, located on the west bank of Luxor, is a vast necropolis where many of Egypt's pharaohs were buried in magnificent tombs carved into the cliffs. You can explore several of these tombs today and marvel at the incredible wealth of the pharaonic civilization. Well, as I'm sure you can see from my face, it is hot in there. Anyone who thought that a tomb would be like a nice, cool place of rest, you would be incorrect. But wow, look at that tomb, look at all the details and the hieroglyphics, just like, look at that, amazing. And here we are at the tomb that started the Egypt mania in the 1920s, the tomb of Tutankhamun, discovered of course by Howard Carter. And oh my god, I can't believe I'm here. You have to pay extra at the moment to come into this tomb. Normally it's 300 Egyptian pounds, but they're doing a cheeky little discount because it's the summer, so it was 150. Bargain. The Temple of Hatshepsut is another must-see destination. This beautiful temple, built by the female pharaoh Hatshepsut, features elegant colonnades, towering obelisks and stunning reliefs depicting the queen and her reign. Although it's only a short distance from the Valley of the Kings, the Valley of the Queens doesn't make it onto nearly as many visitors' radars, which is a total win for you as it's much quieter. I'll let you in on a little secret now. The Valley of the Queens is home to the most stunning tomb in Egypt, and its quieter location means there's a good chance you'll have it all to yourself. Well, if the theme for the Valley of the Kings was quite busy, the theme for the Valley of the Queens is completely empty. Makes for a great contrast to the Valley of the Kings. There's only 3 tombs plus Nefertari's, which is going to be the big finale. Queen Nefertari's tomb is one of the most ornate tombs in the country, and thanks to the gigantic restoration process, you can see the intricate paintings and decorations much as they would have been in ancient times. Early bird catches the outstanding views of Luxor from above on the sunrise hot air balloon adventure. Isn't that how the old saying goes? I love taking the hot air balloon over the Valley of the Kings. Yes, it meant a 3 a.m. wake up. It's 3:15 a.m. Fun. If you're anything like me, you're gonna have some funny feelings about being suspended from the sky using a little balloon basket, but put your qualms aside because it is magical. Day of your Egypt itinerary, you're going to fly from Luxor back to Cairo and take in a few more of the city sights and scenes before heading home. So there we are, a step-by-step 10-day Egypt travel itinerary. I hope you have an absolute blast on your trip. Follow and subscribe for more incredible travel adventures.